Hello and welcome to Scarlet Serpent readings. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Timeless Pick a Card reading, where we will find out what realm wants to work with you and why. I'll be channeling messages from that realm. I'll uncover which realm you'll be working with in each pile, so no spoilers in the intro. We have three piles, three different realms to choose from. They're all going to be the same with the backs of the cards like this. So this is pile 1, pile 2, and then pile 3. Of course, I'm going to have the images frozen in time on the screen, but of course, take your time if you need to. Choose your pile, but otherwise, I'll see you at your reading. Hi, pile 1. If you chose this card, this is going to be your reading. A message from the Celestial Realm. The card that you chose is from Lemuria, with memories and sound healing. There's some dolphins, there's the ocean, and so you can take this a couple different ways. The way I'm going to channel this reading is from the Celestial Realm, so sort of interplanetary energies, energies from space, but also the sea. If you connect with sea creatures, with mermaids, things like that, then this would be within the same line. So this reading, and we're going to find out why this is the realm that you should be connecting with to get to where you want to be in the next phase of your life. And so with memories, sound healing, maybe musicians, maybe there's a need for calm is coming through very, very strongly, and a need for more light, because it seems as though you have a lot of fire energy, going through a significant transformation in your life, potentially sort of heavy decision making that needs to take place, and it also feels as though there's a bit of a time cap, like a time limit on this. And so did I show you the card? Okay, I'll just show it to you again. With Lemuria, doing something that I usually recommend, which is to at least take a little bit of time to dive into playful energy, more joy, more freedom, and allow that sense of freedom and happiness to navigate your decision making. I mean, not exclusively, but because, depending on your situation, it might be tempting to only look at the negative or even the seriousness of the situation, and that can be very burdensome on the mind. We do have an angel showing up, not to spoil any of the other piles, but if you were drawn to more than one, this could be a sign of that. But otherwise, it's a transformative angelic energy. And in the same way, we see the sea creatures, the whales, transitioning, well, not transitioning permanently, so this might not be a permanent change, but going from the sea into the air, I guess, from water to get clarity. And maybe this transformation is in service to your mind, and again, helping you obtain some level of clarity, because you might have been surrounded by people who were trying to negatively impact you, or to probably it's more likely that they're just trying to influence your decision making. They will not influence, I was going to even say morals, like the things that you think about, and the things that the actions that you take, and the question that the Lemurians, I say that weird, I don't really know, but either way, the Celestial Realm, they want to give you another perspective of, a lot of times we seek success and money, but ultimately happiness is a very important part of being on this planet. And I do see it's pretty clear that you look to the stars to find a sense of happiness. There's probably a longing that you have for the stars, and I think this would be a card of confirmation. But at the same time, with the Lemurian card, we see kind of this night and day energy of movement and of stillness, and I think really this realm wants to connect with you because it is almost the opposite energy of where you're at right now, which is probably more intensity, more of this daytime energy, more of I need to get things done. And again, with the volcanic eruption at the bottom, this is I was gonna say, like, just the timing for this is, it's been a long time coming. I think this is a change that you've wanted. And I do think it's burning away sort of older relationships, older mindsets. But I do think this pile wants to travel and see the world. And that does require some letting go, just to travel lightly. We're going to go ahead and do another row of tarot before grabbing an oracle card. But, oh yeah, with the Tower. So that's kind of confirmation of this drastic change. And with this playful perspective, that change doesn't, although, energetically it might be intense, it doesn't have to feel like the end. It's just another physical form almost with that. When you get it out of the water, sometimes it's a little cold when it's windy, but other times, I don't know, it just feels nice, and it depends where you're at. And I do think while your mind and your soul really want to connect to the stars, I also think that finding the celestial influences in the physical world can kind of help ground this longing into your world, into this planet, so you don't feel so alone. Because I do think, in a way, this pile might feel a bit alone. We do have the Tower with the waves, this change coming in. Again, I'm getting a strong sense of a connection to water, not only with that, but with the Eight of Cups. We also have the Eight of Swords, which is, I think, what is bringing in this intense change energy, this intense death, transformation, and so forth. And again, it is something that you've wanted. Let's get one more card. Queen of Wands, like with the Serpent. You know what's interesting in this deck, and I don't know if I had mentioned it, but there's two Queen of Wands. There's one who's holding lightning and one who's holding a serpent. And so this kind of reminds me of the Strength card, where she's kind of taming her subconscious side, her wild side, taming and working with it. And I think this is sort of that similar vibe, that similar energy, where it might feel as though this volcanic eruption that's happening through you really can be overwhelming. And I think this is a phase of your life where you can take that energy and channel it and direct it towards towards making you feel not only more confident, more capable on this planet, but really the biggest thing is to feel like home, to make a home out of your existence here. But I think at first this flame is meant to engulf you. I'm thinking of a song that probably no one's heard, by The Sword, which is Freya. Metal. Yes. How did it go? Oh, you will die in flames. That's not to say you're gonna die in flames or anything like that, but there's a lot of songs that reference flames and being weight in the fire, something like that. You're literally being burnt up, and I think that's why connecting to the stars, and specifically Lemuria with sound healing, bringing back more of the tranquility that comes with water. There's that contrast there, right? And I think that's what this Two of Pentacles is showing too. Similar to the Temperance card. Managing these two intense energies and playing with them and balancing them and working with them as an alchemist would. But you're being asked to play, to look to the stars, to ground these energies, and to not be afraid of them, as overwhelming as they may seem. As much fire as you're getting, as much fire as coming into you as that is, for all of the flames that you are feeling, there is a counterbalance with water, and it's available. It's just a matter of reaching out for it, noticing it, really. Look at how these two are interacting. So let's go ahead and get one more oracle card. And I suggest, if you do want to work with the celestial realm, consider doing it for a month at least, and it could be just a quick meditation, like an astral projection. Just imagine yourself going into the stars and traveling to a planet with whales, or maybe even going to the ocean, and you could play with that and see how just sitting with these energies affect you. We have now, seize the moment. And underneath that is turmoil, the storm. This is an impactful card, I think. That this turmoil is being caused by you. You've been wanting a change. I feel as though you've felt stuck for a while, and it's kind of like this maze going on, this transformation, and it's like this reading may come across as a bit vague, but I think there's a wisdom that is unfolding through this transformation, and it's an exciting time, but it's also very intense, which is why you're asked to kind of like dance it off a little bit, move around, get in the water and do some sound baths, because it will be very helpful during this intense time. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the reading there. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I always love hearing from you, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose this card, this is going to be your reading. And this reading is going to be coming from the angelic realm, specifically with Archangel Mary. With the number 8, it says balance the feminine and masculine. But this reading is going to be energetically coming from the angelic realm. So that's exciting. We're going to find out why that's the case. With the number 8, this infinity symbol, a sign of strength, a strength in finding that balance and acknowledging both aspects of yourself in everything. But let's see. These are all in reverse. Oh no, they're not. I'm just going to adjust them because I don't really read reversals. And so when there's, like 3 cards in a row that are reversed, I just... okay. I got bunched up. We'll do it again. I'll let you know if that card comes back up. I'm also getting Archangel Michael vibes, actually. This pile has to do with truth. Not only finding their own truth, but recognizing truth in situations. That there's like an underlying theme and recurring situation that's been kind of permeating your life for a while now. And I think this angelic perspective is here to use your heart to see. We have the King of Swords. This reminds me of Archangel Michael. Notice that the crown is over his head almost as a weapon, potentially, because the mind can go back and, cause all sorts of mayhem, keep you still and frozen, kind of like this king might seem to someone who doesn't really understand the king, as potentially stiff. But that's because this king is very much guarding his truth and representing not only himself but his kingdom. And so this truth, this sword of truth, is used to interact with everybody, and there's a responsibility with that sword. Such a powerful weapon can easily harm people, and when you do draw that sword, this sword of truth that I think flows through you, it's like the angels potentially talk through you with the people around you, and I think you'll notice that you have a magnetic energy, that you have I almost feel like Queen of Wands with this card. What does it mean? What makes you stand tall and proud? And is that the case with everybody that you interact with? It's kind of interesting how we change ourselves when we interact with different people. Of course, jobs, family, friends, that we have different personas and different faces. And that's not to say that we're acting. These are just different versions of truth that kind of interact not only within ourselves, but as a reflection of the other people around us. And just notice how they respond to potentially the harsh words that might just slip out of your mouth. I don't know if that ever happens, but it's for good reason. And I think we have the Page of Pentacles. We're going to clarify these cards as well, but I kind of feel like for this pile, not for all of you, but for some, that there's a child in your life that is around you, that you feel responsible for, and so you are even more mindful of what you're saying, of what, not only what you are saying, but what the child is potentially saying around you, regardless of age. And I also see you caring for this child. And this child could represent, of course, a potential idea, creative idea. And I think if that's the case, then you're very, very cautious as to how to move forward. Extremely cautious. And I'm also seeing the Seven of Swords here. So I think part of this, there's... it's in reverse again, sorry. There's kind of like two readings. They're similar, but within this pile, there's a group who actually have children, who I think, if you're not going through this already, there is kind of like a lesson, as I said, recurring, that's going on, that I think your child might have to face in the near future. That could be a reflection of sort of how you've been deceived in your life. But otherwise, I think maybe this deception that has come from past experiences is almost preventing you from moving forward with this idea. And this idea being something that manifests out of you as part of your expression. So we'll get some more information on that with the next round of cards. You have the Five of Swords. This is a sword, yeah. I'll show it to you later. Five of Swords. Okay. I'm not. I keep turning the deck for some reason, so sorry about that. We have the High Priestess. Whoops. There's a lot going on here. Okay. I do think for some of you, you've been guided to kind of do spiritual work, and there could have been, I think now at this point, you're more proud of this divination practice that you've been doing for a while, but that might not have been the case previously. There was almost this fear to be tied down to old ways, to old patterns, and that might be something that's coming up with either, again, a child, or specifically a new form of divination that you want to work with, that you're a little scared, because it's not scared, but cautious as to who you share this with, because it's different. It's very different. It's not, I don't think it's just tarot, though it might be. I think This is just unorthodox, and even within the community, potentially, it's like, I don't know if I want to share this with everybody. That's that fear. I think your higher self, your intuitive nature knows that this is the way to go. And I think the reason why the angels, specifically the angelic realm, they're providing a lot of emotional support. And I think there's an intensity, almost a brightness, that is brought about, kind of their presence. It's like an angelic hug, and they just want to, it's an energetic, like a battery charge, really. And that's kind of what I'm seeing with Archangel Mary, is cradling, really taking care of you in the same way that you would potentially take care of your child. Is that this is a reminder that the angelic realm does care for you, that they are protecting you during this time, as scary as it may be, with the child kind of hanging on there. And it's easy to forget that, especially if you've been playing the role of a king, of a leader for a long time. And I think that's why the angelic realm is wanting to work with you, is just so you know there's someone, not like to say above you in that way, but that can take care of you as well. I think there's a couple more cards I wanted to do. Let me see. Yeah, I'm missing 2. Okay. So we're going to clarify this Page of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands. Yeah, it was funny because this was kind of the card that these felt similar. They do have a similar vibe of like old, outdated thought patterns and things that you're trying to move away from. With this, in this imagery, there's a little boat. Look how big these swords are, and I always think of ancestral ideas, kind of chains that are put down. They've been passed on from generations, and I think as someone who is a pioneer, it does take courage to move forward in a new direction, knowing that you might get backlash, and I think you have the backbone to take that potentially, because you're concerned. While you can certainly respect tradition, you're more concerned about making a new mark on the world based on your own truth. And that's the biggest thing, is that your truth is the guiding light, and your truth gives you confidence. I think that's been your journey, and I think that's something that's you're being asked by the angelic realm to really hone in on this this growth that you've already made, and the confidence. So we have the King of Wands underneath. So two kings here, with Archangel Mary, which I think right now you're being not asked to embrace more of your masculine energy, but I think it's just that time of season, you know. The divine masculine is kind of just taking form, probably to defend you, and to give you the strength to pursue, you know, the guidance of your divine feminine. You know, it takes courage, but the wisdom is there, and it's second nature now. And I think really with Archangel Mary again, reminding you of the strength that you've always had to move forward. I do think this has to do a lot with career. So I don't know if you've been interested in changing a career or taking a new career path, going back to school. You'll probably get influences, kind of shadows, remnants of siblings that kind of want to just keep you safe. They prefer safety over exploration and growth and creativity, and that's stifling, and you feel it strongly. Okay, so let's get one more oracle card. A final word from the angelic realm, because they are the ones who want to connect with you. And we have Worth, Queen. Yeah. it's literally this card, isn't it? They have the same face, the same attitude, the same thing with the king and the high priestess. There's this royalty of knowing who you are. You're at that phase of your life now where you know who you are, the respect that you deserve, and it's time to move forward with that to the next phase of your journey. And you have very strong angelic support. I could imagine the wings kind of wrapping around you as protective energy. And so I'd strongly recommend meditating with whatever angelic guides you have, or even if it's a crystal, or just take note of the feathers that are around you, if you have a pendant, or anything that helps you feel a little more light, so that you could move through the inevitable deceitful energy that's trying to slow you down and cause doubt. I think you are well beyond doubt at this point. I think I'm going to end the reading there. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose this card, this is going to be your reading. The realm that has chosen you, or you have chosen, is, I'll call it Earth Realm, but really it's a connection to your ancestors. The ancestors want to work with you, and I'd say that this is the shamanic realm, shamanic power pile. And so I think in this part of your journey, if you're watching this now, the ancestors, the shamanic realm, again, the earth realm, is ready to work with you. And we're going to find out why. We have, the card says recognition. Alright, so we have the Six of Pentacles. It did come out in reverse. I'm going to leave it as reverse for this one. Feeling a bit unbalanced. The moon energy is there, and it is there with Taurus, but it might be a little bit more uncomfortable for this potential pile, and I think maybe at this time you feel slightly ungrounded to the earth or disconnected to your ancestors, and so that's part of the reason why they're reaching out, is to remind you that they're always there. The next thing is the Ten of Swords, which is, as disturbing as that might seem, it is a possum pretending to be dead, which I think is a funny twist on the card. And it is a card of the sun, and so we're going to keep going. Because I feel like you want something to end, but it won't. But we'll get to that later. And then we have the Eight of Swords with oppression. It's interesting because the Eight of Swords, I believe, came up in a different... Yeah, it did, in a different pile. So if you're watching from that one... just be mindful of the Eight of Swords energy, which is there, and you might feel stuck, almost burdened by family. And it's kind of interesting, and maybe that's why, for some of you, of course, this is a general reading, but where you felt detached from your ancestors because you don't feel that connected to immediate family or extended family, and your ancestors can go way back. So even if you don't feel like, again, your immediate family or your bloodline is, I was going to say, worth listening to, but like you feel disconnected from them, that doesn't mean that your ancestors don't understand where you're coming from. And maybe that's almost why it's like you're bringing back the wisdom from the earth, and there's that clashing, that conflict because I think you want to bring balance. I think you want to, with the roots being here, you want to connect to the earth. But it isn't so much a priority, especially these days. Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, with AI, with coding, and that's not to say that that's bad. It's just the pursuit of advancing technology doesn't mean that we abandon kind of our roots in the soil of the earth. And so I do think that's very strong for this pile. I could almost imagine like making different teas, and I was looking, I didn't bring my tea. I have tea somewhere. I think it's downstairs, but anyway, I don't know. I'm seeing maybe harvesting or growing your own leaves, sort of like for again tea, for incense, for cooking, working with the earth. And I think Father of Arrows, the King of Swords, which showed up again in a previous reading, I think in this case represents a level of focus and determination to bringing the ways of the ancestors into this reality, kind of blending those ways of living together, kind of like an urban shaman. Although I would not, I mean, do as you will, of course, but I don't feel as though a book on urban shamanism or whatever is the way that your ancestors want you to go. I think they're guiding you to find your own way, to connect with your earth, and maybe write your own book of being an urban shaman. But excuse me, let's continue. Oh, I think I put it was today. I put a YouTube short, and the shaman card showed up. So I think that's interesting. That's my story. So we're going to clarify this row. We have the world underneath the Six of Cups, or Six of Pentacles, which was in reverse. We have the Daughter of Arrows, or like the Princess of Swords. We have the Four of Pentacles, which is okay. And then the Five of Cups. I think we're gonna draw some more cards. With this Five of Cups, this is a specific message. It could be potentially a loss of a father figure in your life who wants to come through. But I also think that potentially the ancestor that wants to come through would be like not only a father figure, but a positive, a more potentially loving father figure, or a father figure who's more grounded and nurturing, earth-centered, I should say. But I think we'll get to that. Oh, I should show you the cards. So the first one was the World. Something about that cycle, unending cycle, is sort of tying back to this in a way. And with Saturn, it's kind of trying to reveal something to you about a cycle. And I think the ancestors really want to bring that to your attention so that you could not only break the chains for yourself, but potentially your entire bloodline, your entire ancestral tree. We have the Daughter of Arrows, very slow moving in this case, which is fun. And that slow moving energy represents the possum kind of being stuck in the Ten of Swords. It's like the sloth can see the light, but it isn't here yet. The sloth doesn't feel its warmth, and maybe that's something that you feel right now. But the sun is coming. Let's see. We have preservation with the Four of Pentacles, Sun and Capricorn, and so I think these two cards together are pretty clear. Kind of this retreating energy from the outside world, from the world up top, the world of the mind. And maybe this Father of Arrows could represent a figure that has used words and the mind as a weapon against you, or as a means of trying to control you in some way, to try and convince you that the old ways are not relevant anymore. And I think you know that that's not true, but you've almost gotten tired of trying to fight this head on, and it feels as though your ancestors are telling you, yeah, don't even bother, it's really not worth it. And I think maybe this card would represent kind of the subtle, it's not defeat, but like discouragement of, I wish I could have connected at a deeper level to whatever this represents for you. But I can't. They simply won't listen, and it's not worth fighting, trying to convince them. They're not worth convincing. They won't be convinced. And this world card is about getting you out and into the world, into a transition state, and less about trying to bring this King of Swords with you. I mixed up all the cards. They're all over the place now. I don't remember the order. But anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab the Oracle card. Yeah, the order's gone. If you've gotten personal reading for me, you know that I make a mess down there. So yeah, let's get an Oracle card. But really, it feels like the Earth realm is trying to ground you, make you feel more protected, more sure of yourself. It is a slow-moving energy that's been sort of in this reading, that it's like a bit of a marathon for you. And I think that slow movement is to your benefit in a way. I feel like this is a slow-growing group, like a flower that blossoms later, but is a bit more vibrant and longer lasting in the long run. So sorry, the audio cut off, so I'm not sure where that ended, but I'll just show you these two cards. We have Sovereignty, and then the Building card with Effort, which I feel like this is taking a lot of effort. This effort is represented with this loss, with this finality. It feels as though it's a never-ending cycle, but it is ending. It's just taking a long time, and I think the sense of freedom that will present itself afterwards is worth it. But I do want to point out the number 8 with oppression, and the connection with this oppression card and the wings here. So you will fly away, or you're being asked to fly away, and to remain strong and true to who you are and your beliefs. And also with the World card, I'm kind of seeing the infinity sign there, the number 8. I think part of your journey on this planet is to experience that sense of freedom from not only oppression, not only the cycles of your... Again, I keep wanting to say family. I keep wanting to say almost... what is it? Like beliefs that no longer serve you, but these are almost ancestral beliefs. And I think that's why you're being asked to work with ancestors, maybe to interview them, see sort of what beliefs are they still holding on to that are not really serving you or the collective or the entire family line. And I think, out of all the piles, it feels like this pile has to do, you don't have to do anything, but there's a little bit more work. It's a bit slower moving, and so maybe like a daily practice if you don't already do it. But I do think that the benefits, again, kind of outshine potentially the other piles, just because this sovereignty is something that I think the world will feel. The world will notice your impact, because it's very bright and very powerful. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the reading there. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments, like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate your time watching these, so thank you. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.